Alright guys, we're back with Pre, so I haven't had him on it, but I have been working with him and they're doing unbelievable. So I'm just thinking, there's got to be something to this. That's what pisses me off, I guess, when these people say, there's nothing to it, there's nothing to it. This is all, you know, all conditioned with just a pager. And if you said, well, you're hesitant to hit the nick, I'm really not. I'm not hesitant to hit the nick. There hasn't been any reason to. There hasn't been any reason to. But, I mean, there will be. Ah! Soon, we need to stop doing stuff like that. Alright, so I'm just... Remember, I had everything in motion, and I was having them go and get the... but now I've just kind of started doing it. And what was happening is they were making it a point to get... And I was rewarding him for laying down after he gave it to me. Alright, so I'm going to go get the other one. And if you said, what made him go get it? He saw me looking at it. Alright, there's one way over there. I don't know if I can... You know, and again, if you said, well, this is acting class, and you got to pretend like you're staring at something over there that's so interesting. That starts great, doesn't it? You know, and you have to... He's thinking... You know, and if you said, what could you do to make it better? Step towards it. He's got that same trait of setting it in your hand. And I do think maybe the dumbbells are kind of conducive to that. So I think you should all get them. I don't know if you can get them there, Mike, but that was just kind of what I've been doing, is just putting it on the footstool and then just having him get it. What was kind of happening is he was being very efficient and he was always bringing two at once. Alright, so the other ones are on the footstool. They were there before. I should theoretically just be able to look and get him to figure out they're there. Theoretically. No, he smelled it now. I want the other one too, though. Yay! And if you said your colors are bad, it's true. It's true. I should go in there right now and get white spray paint. And they do actually make white ones of these. They're just like $15 each. It doesn't make any sense. So he's got a really nice default down. And if you said that's not, you know, good for a service dog, I could see where it would be. All right, so now I'm just going to repeat it, and then he should remember this time. You know, and if you said, well, you didn't lose anything by him, you know, not getting it right away. Yeah, I know, but you didn't gain anything. And that's not your job. That's what you have to remember. My job is to try to gain something. He's starting to look where I'm looking.
Yay!
Not that well, though. It takes time. It takes time. He's thinking. He's just looking the wrong way. And I do think you'd have to be careful. I do think you'd have to be careful. Because Shu has a very strong tendency to look the opposite way. And I do think it's important to have your hand a certain way. It's just, you know, my hand is very, not grabby. Your hand has to have a certain... God willing, he'll remember. Yay! It occurred to him to look over there. What you guys need to get out there and try and act like it's a game show challenge. He's got a really nice default down, though. All right, so my job would be to try to get him to get the last one just by looking at it. He's already kind of figured out, and that, you know, if he said, if that's the only signal it's giving, you know, that's why I don't think you would want to point and do all these things too much. You could do, if you said, well, you know, later, how could you help augment the eyes? You could start adding stuff then. You gotta be willing to be patient too. He just likes looking at me. He just likes looking at me. And I'm not saying to myself he knows it's there and just doesn't want to go get it. He's too busy staring at me with just true love.
Yay!
Anyway, so I've got them to this point, and I did slow it down. I can speed it up. And if you said, well, how would you speed it up? But I already have one nacho, so, you know, but I'm not sure this isn't, you know, temperament-wise, not a really, really, really good dog. You know, it's just, to be that devoted, you know, and I mean, he's ready. I mean, if I'm good, you know, he's, as much as possible, he's trying to mirror my movements. You know, and that's what you want to be able to say. If I make the tiniest move, you make the tiniest move. That's where people go wrong. And Fernando, that's what I meant about your video. If the praise is always the same, the behavior is always going to be the same. I think that sounds right. You know, but you've got to be able to make it. It's got to be that tiny. And if you said, well, he didn't hear that. Yeah, he did. You know, but if you said, what does this dog have that you don't see in other dogs as much? He has a servant's heart. He has a servant's heart. He's not trying to jack with me. He's not trying to get this dumbbell and jack around with me. He's trying to do. He's just a really, really a cool dog. You know, and he's willing just to, just stand still. And I have started doing the double blanket, and you need to do that with all of your dogs too. All right, watch. You just look at them, and then you go, all right, I gotta get I got to get the brother to this one because I haven't had these on the show, but I have been working with them. You've got to be able to say, yay, that's small. I'm going to try to get Pablo to interpret that for me, for Fernando, because Fernando's really good. But if people don't tell you, the devil is in the details when it comes to training dogs. It really is. And if you said that's not true about building any relationship or building anything, I'd say, oh boy. Oh boy, we're in trouble. All right, I'll be right back.